Hello everyone, this is Hamid once again, and in this tutorial we want to speak about data operator in 3D Studio Max. So for that, let's begin. I press 6 to open the preview particle view, and I drop and standard flow. So in this tutorial we want to learn how to align our particle based on the Z position. So for this reason I just replace the position with a position object, and I select my object and delete the speed, delete even the rotation, just need the shape and display as geometry. So, and I go here to PF source and the integration step, both of them I set them to frame, and don't forget to have the viewport 100%, so exactly what you see is what's right. And go to birth and stop emit to 0, 0 and amount 100. So the problem is when you have some particles on an object like this, you see, because the particle pivot is exactly in the center of the objects, they are not aligned to the plane. So but the problem gets worse if you have some scale. For example, I put an scale operator here and make some random. So you see, they are all aligned based on the center. So in this tutorial I want to show you how to align them based on the Z component, so they are all aligned at the bottom. So how to do this? Delete this one and begin the work. Okay, I make the size 20 to have it bigger so I can see them easier, and I'm working with data operator. As I said, data operator, I put a data operator here. The first thing that I have to do is auto update, so everything that I am doing I will see directly what will happen here. So edit data flow, and here we are in data operator, and for this I first create some event for changing the scale based on the grayscale. Okay, we have right now a grayscale map here for the plane. So I go here and choose select object, and this select object I select my plane, and I want to have the information of this black and white, this noise information, this map as a scale for the particles. So I go here geometry, and I say here geometry property to be point color. What it means, point color, what it means, it will read the information of the color of the point from what, from this plane, but exactly what point, every particle is somewhere else. So we need another geometry to tell the it closest point by surface. So each particle will find its closest surface, closest point by surface, and each particle will find the closest point by surface and tell this operator exactly what color it means. Right now we have the information of color. For every point here we have and color information. But this color information right now is the type is as a pair. So what we want right now is an output standard. So to tell that we want to have it as a scale, but this input is real and this input is vector. So how to change this? We put a function here and have it as just uncheck the use second operator, just one operator, and we get a vector, and the output will be the length of the vector. So what that means? It means that the value, it will be a value between 0 and 1. The black area is 0 and the white is 1, and between of them is something in between 0 and 1. So if you right now click on length and right click, and show data, you will see that amount of each particle. It's something between 0 and 1. And if you click here and say show data, you will see that we have here vectors. You see, we have here vectors, but here the vectors are converted to length. So they are number, and we give this number as an average for the scale. So that's so easy, but that was not what we were searching for in this tutorial. The problem is the same as like before that we applied and scale here, but our goal is to have them aligned based on Z. So for this reason, I go here and select input standard. We can have this here, no problem, but I need an output standard really. And what kind of output do I need? I need an Z component. So for example, if I came right now here and say I have a scalar, a name, a number, and I put it here, so this means that right now the output of my particle will read from this number, from this scalar, which is right now 1. Right now if I move my object up and down, they will still stay on the plane here, which the number is 1. But if I move them in other axis, they are still moving, but not anymore in Z. So I can control my Z value from here, but 1 is obvious not what we are searching for. So instead of 1, we can have something good. Have it here to 0. We know that the size of our object is is 20. So if I have it 10 here, and for example turn off right now the scale, so you see that the particles are on my object, but if I move it, not anymore. Okay, so I put another input standard, and I say position vector component Z, and I bring a function, and I say both of them to be real, and I put these two together and give it as output to here, and I say addition. So what that means, it means that sorry, that you see, if I change it in the Z direction, they are sticked on the plane. It will read the value of the Z and multiply it by 10. So but when we have back our scale, it didn't work anymore. So what to do? Instead of having an 10 and constant value, so we have here right now the value for the scale. So, and we have the scale, the value, the size of our object. So we can simply put an function here in between, and we say have them as real, and we say we get this information of scale, and we have the information of our size, and we multiply, not addition, multiplication, and give it as a factor here to our object. So wow, you see that right now the objects are exactly on the plane, but the problem is that it's not good idea to have it a 10 here, because every time that you should be aware of what number you have here as a shape, and you have to divide it by 2 and type a number here. It's not good idea. So I delete this, and what I bring here is another input parameters, input standard, oh sorry, output standard, input standard, and I tell position, no, size, average, and uncheck adjust by scale, and put it instead of 10 here. But we have a problem here, you see, because the size is the double of the number that we need. So the size is 20, but we need a 10 here. So what do is another function and have it here as real, and we say identity and post factor half. So if we have 20 multiplication by 0.5, it will be 10. So, and we can put this together, and no matter what we have, no matter what size we have right now here, we can change the size, and they are stick on the plane, and we can even move it. So, but the last problem is that if I scroll, you see that are moving based on the information of the Z, because this calculation will be done every frame. So how to avoid this problem? Very simple. We select an input standard, and we choose for the type new in event, and put it here. So right now we have it just the calculation just in the first frame and not in other frames. So the last thing that I want to do, I mean right now I am finished, I can just go here to plane. And it's good always to check here the output order, so you can see what you have done until now. You have two outputs, scale average and position Z component. So click on plane, right click, expose, select your object, and say that I want to have it as object column. And you can have even this length, the factor as a scale factor, post factor. You see, right click on it, expose post factor, and type scale factor column. So right now it's finished, and if I close this and select this object, you will see that where are it? Select my once again my plane, expose objects. They are not here, I don't know for what reason. Select say object column, add. Right now it's add, and go here and expose post factor as scale factor column, add. I didn't forget, I forget to press the add button. Okay, right now you see here we have two parameters here, and we can even save the preset, say align on Z, something like this. Preset file created, and you can even delete this, and you can another time came into data preset, you put here and select aligned on Z, select it, your object and your scale factor, and you see that they are aligned based on Z. So if you ask me, data operator is the most powerful thing that I ever saw in 3D Max. It's very useful and very it can get very complicated, and I am still in learning these data operators, and I want to learn more and more about it, and if I learn something new, I am glad to share it with you. But if you like it, don't forget to subscribe, and any comment if you have, I'm glad to read them. And thank you for watching me, and have a nice day.